Hi, this is a resource I wanted to share with you that I didn't actually know about when I started in business, but it's quite an important one for keeping legal in what you're doing in your business. You're going to be presumably wanting to contact customers and have customers contact you and build relationships with them, which means that you will be gathering customer data and storing that somewhere and using it to contact them. That means that you'd need to abide by the General Data Protection Regulations, and in order to do that, you need to be registered with the ICO, which is the Information Commissioner's Office, and they manage a register of everybody that is approved to basically process information for customers, which means that if anybody is not following the GDPR guidelines, customers can register complaints about them with the ICO, and the ICO knows who it is they need to contact. So this is the website that you would do that on, ico.org.uk, because it is an official organisation, nice and easy to remember. And when you're on there, you can access all sorts of additional information. I would recommend coming down to this for organisations section. And within that, it tells you more about data protection and personal information. I'm just going to click on here and look at the guidance that it's given you in there. Now, this is, of course, a UK organisation because it's in the website. If you're not in the UK, there will be different regulations that apply to you. You can read more about what is regulated in here, what you can actually do with it, what's the lawful basis for using people's information, when have they consented for you to keep that information, and that sort of thing. If you have tuition centres, you might have video surveillance for security purposes, but obviously that's going to be potentially capturing customers as well, so that's going to be subject to that as well. Information about people that you're employing is going to be included in there, and any use of AI and children's information. So I do recommend going and having a look in there because it'll be very relevant to tuition businesses. So you can learn more about that, and then you can come into here to find out whether you need to pay to be registered and how much. So if you come in here, you have the register. They also have their a digital assistant, but it's really straightforward to use. You would click here to register and enter your details, and then you have to pay an annual fee, which is around £40, so not massive, but well worth helping to make sure that your business is operating within the bounds of the law. People can register to make complaints, obviously, about businesses through here. So again, if you're once you publish your business and your contact details online, you are also subject to spam. So if you get spam messages from people who are using the details that you've published for customers to spam or phish you, you can come in here and make a complaint about them as well. So they are presumably supposed to be registered in here. If they're in the UK, it's not always the case. They're not always UK businesses. They're not always registered if they're supposed to be, if they're not supposed to be doing what they're doing. And this isn't somewhere to have them prosecuted. That would be the work of Action Fraud, or if somebody has actually defrauded you, it would be the work of the police. But this is somewhere to register to kind of help ensure people are operating legally. And something that's also quite interesting for people in education is that they provide resources for you to teach children about safely using their data. It can be quite scary when you first start explaining to children about how to use the internet safely. And for us, a lot of us, this isn't something that we were taught at school, so it's not something that we can identify with that experience of. It can be difficult for them when you first say to them, sharing information on the internet is dangerous and you mustn't give information to strangers, and then it can encourage them to go too far and not want to use the internet. So it's important to kind of teach it in a way that's going to enable them to get access to the resources and information that are going to help them with their education without making them vulnerable. And these are really helpful resources to go and have a look at, sharing that with your students at different age groups. Yeah, if you haven't already, I'd recommend coming to the Information Commissioner's Office and having a read around the resources to see how it's relevant to you and your education business.